Welcome again to another time on Hangout with PF. So glad and excited to have you go on this journey with us. It's been most insightful, it's been a delightful work, and I'm glad to chaperone you through this season. Today, we will be speaking on the peace of God. The peace of God. It's become general knowledge, it's a universal truth that the world is always changing, the world is evolving, and there are a lot of uncertainties lying all around us in various ways, in various forms, and under so many disguises. We're not sure in its entirety what happens in the next moment, minute, hours, days, weeks, or even in the years to come. However, there is the provision of the peace that God gives that gives us a guarantee that everything will surely work out for our good and end well. While many say that they're waiting on God, only few, very few actually do. Oftentimes, the all others, their hearts and their minds are all over scouting and seeking in various ways, trying to work it out on their own terms. That's the reality that it's befalling us. They try to seek out plans whose achievement and attainments are similar to that vision God has given. We oftentimes see that we get into plans, we get into things that look like where we're going to, but eventually turns out to be a mistake, a complete error, a complete deviation from the very things that God intended. We need to realize that every plan, and I repeat, every plan has a back end. Every plan has a back end. That is where it originates from. And its origin shows the intention. Its origin shows the intention. There are so many plans that seem it right, but the end is destruction. Doubt starts to creep in when the intention varies from the already attained outcome. In cases where one skips God and works out the plan on their own, that is, they trying to work out the vision of God on their own, we start to doubt when things don't add up the way we're expecting. The turnout and all those things don't align with what we propose or we perceive is the will of God concerning that matter. Sometimes what was promised takes longer to manifest, and this is a reality that we need to understand. But I would explain why those things happen sometimes. It says, however, we need to understand that God's intention wasn't just to bless us, but for us to be a blessing, which centers on us retaining and multiplying the blessings and the realities on the purpose being established. God's intention is not just to bless us, to give us a thing, to get us to a certain level. He's also intended for each and every one of us to retain whatever He gives and also multiply it so that they become blessings to other people. The peace of God truly passes all understanding, in that it equips us not just with foresight, the strength for perseverance, but also transformation in our thought process, our character, and our attitude towards prevailing realities. Oftentimes, when God requires us to wait in a season, at a level, is because we do not have all that is required to have the blessing, retain it, and also multiply it. In other words, there are some principles, there are some knowledge that we need to acquire, that we need to have. There is also the experiences, certain experiences along the way that needs to be registered in us, so that we are not just able to retain, to have the blessing, but also it will not be taken away, or we will not trade it under any disguise for the things that are not as profitable as the things that God has in stock for us. Also, it helps us to form, to build, to transform our character and our attitudes towards our prevailing realities. A stone is a stone, but to some people it's a stumbling stone, while to others it's a rising stone. It doesn't change the fact that the realities are there, but what you see in those realities, it determines what you have at the end of the day. The true test of peace is the ability to be objective and articulate, even in the face of uncertainty and dilemma. There's no truth that is far from this. The ability to remain calm, the ability to remain focused, even in the face of adversity, even in the face where you do not know what the next moment will bring, is actually the true test of faith, of peace. That is how we know without a doubt that the peace of the Lord is dwelling on our insides. When we are not moved with the realities on our outside, but we are fully persuaded about the realities that have been formed on our insides, then we know that we're walking in the peace of God. Whatever God says and shows, that is, what we see in the light of what He has said, is bound to be manifested. His words never returns to Him void. His promises never fail. His covenants are never eroded in any way. However, we have the responsibility not to ignore the reality, but never to allow facts deny God's truth in our lives and our situations. Not being sure of a reality isn't an excuse to lose your peace. When God is in your boat and you are on His path. I'll say that again with full conviction and assurance. Not being sure of a reality isn't an excuse to lose your peace when God is in your boat and you are on His path. Never lose your peace. God is for you. God is in you. God is with you in this thing that you are passing through. Till the next time I come again, remain blessed. God bless you.